This episode is titled Catwalk. It came out on September 13th, 1995. Shake my little tush on directed. It's directed by Boyd Kirkland, written by Paul Dini, and animation by Dong Yang.
Written Paul Dini, and he is so good.
Except for maybe not on this one.
By Tim Sale. Wait, not Tim Sale.
Bruce Timm.
Bruce Timm. Hey, the Bruce Timm.
Anyway, it's featuring Kevin Conroy as Batman, Adrienne Barbeau as Catwoman, Mary Lou Henner as Veronica Vreeland, Leanne Shermer as Renee Montoya, George Zunza as Scarface and Arnold Wesker, Earl Bowen as Rhino, John Rubinow as Museum Guard, and Frank Welker as Isis.
When was Renee Montoya in this episode?
That's a very good point. I've got that written down.
I don't remember her being in the episode at all.
No. Was she in the... No.
Oh, she was probably at the museum, maybe, with Gordon.
Was she in the car? Maybe she was with Gordon.
I don't remember being there.
I think this is
wrong. We all know, I'm a big Montoya fan. I think she's a great character.
That's true. When she shows up, you're paying attention. Yeah, I don't think she's in this. But anyway, you know what you could do in this video is you could leave us a like and hit subscribe if you haven't yet already, as that helps us out a lot. I know that sounds corny, bro, but...
Like and subscribe, leave a comment.
And if you're listening on a podcast channel, then just hit subscribe or follow us, because that helps us out a lot as well.
Yeah. Right. Like and follow and email us and send us money and just be involved. Discord.
Yep, that's right. Dong Hang it all out.
Right.
Speaking of Dong Hang, they animated this episode, and they previously made many of the episodes that we've reviewed, some of the best being Joker's Favor, Perchance to Dream, Almost Got 'Em, Holly and Ivy Trial, and The Laughing Fish. As always, what did you think of the animation in this episode?
Yeah, again, I feel like we're at the point where we don't even need to comment on it. It's always good.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Dong Hang.
Actually, there was a couple of...
Yes. Go ahead. Yeah.
The hostess of the party, like, the last thing she does is go like, and her eyes go like in two different directions.
Yep. What, Veronica Vreeland?
Yes.
Yeah. She did. Also, Bruce's eyes changed color when he was talking to Veronica at one point, which was weird. But the thing I didn't, I mean, the episode had great animation, but the one thing I didn't like what Dong Yang did was they made Scarface way too articulated. He had like human expressions.
He was moving his eyes and eyebrows.
Yeah, and cheeks and stuff, and like you can make him smile. I was like, that's not a dummy. Like that's like a like a fully. I'm a real boy. That's like Pinocchio shit.
But in defense of that, I always like the idea of like is he like real? Like, like obviously like I know he's not, but like I always like the idea of like the potentially there's something mystical going on there.
But the last episode, Read My Lips, that was the perfect amount of dummy and like expression. Yeah. You know what I mean?
But it's like that film The Boy,
intimidating.
Like, where you're like when they go in the room and his head's been turned, you're like, oh shit, like maybe that motherfucker's real. I love shit.
Yeah,
like that.
That's true. But I don't know. For this cartoon, it seemed to make him more goofy and not as terrifying and intimidating. I
agree. I definitely agree on that.
And at one point, Wesker is using both his hands to control Scarface's arms, which means he wouldn't be able to control his mouth and expressions. Because if he's using both his arms to control Scarface's arms, how is he going to control behind him? He's like, you can see him using both his arms when they're at the end in the control room.
Oh, but maybe he's real then.
But he can't move his arms. He can't move from the waist down. He can just have the expression.
Yeah, he's like Weekends at Bernieing it, just like move me, you dummy.
Hold the boat! Got it? Hold the boat! Hold the boat! Hold that boat! Hold the boat!
Wood jokes. That wasn't a wood joke.
Wood jokes.
Okay, director Boyd Kirkland has been credited previously on our review of Nothing to Fear. Writer Paul Dini has been credited previously on our review of Joker's Favor, as well as being a previous guest on this podcast. As acting creds go, all returning voice actors have been credited on this podcast in their first appearance on this show, such as Adrienne Barbeau in The Cat and the Claw, also a previous guest on this podcast, Adrienne Barbeau, and George Zunza in The Laughing Fish. And just a shout out again to Frank Welker for making the most convincing cat noises, like crazy good. Like, that's a dude making those noises. I'm like, why didn't you just record a cat? They're like, nope, we got Frank Welker. to go meow.
That's crazy because I feel like there's some cat sound effects in there that I've heard in other forms of media. So
I think there probably is, but when it comes to specific noises that they
Yeah.
need ISIS to make, Frank Welker just nails it. And you don't even really realize until you're like, a dude did that? Like, it just sounds like a sound effect.
well, it's like Paul Dini's wife doing the voices of the clickers, in The Last of Us, where you're like,
She's been put to
Ow.
work in this latest new season, I'll tell you that much. God
oh
damn.
really?
Oh,
Are
yeah.
there clickers in season 2?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, thank God! I feel like they really brushed over like they're like the velociraptors of that series. So.
Dude, I'm enjoying. A side note, I'm enjoying season 2 more than season 1.
Okay. I need to jump
Yeah.
into it. We'll talk about that in
We'll talk
What's in
about
your
that
holes?
in holes, yeah. Okay, new acting creds go for the show. John Rubinow, who plays the museum guard, will go on to play many random roles in the DCAU, such as a doctor or helicopter pilot, but his most notable role is in Batman Beyond as one of the futuristic holographic newscasters. You remember those
Yep.
AI newscasters, which we're pretty much going to get in 5 years, I think. So Batman Beyond was ahead of the time on that
Yeah.
one.
Very Dark Knight Returns, all of that with the news, the people, and
Yes.
that's why McFarlane does it in Spawn and stuff like that. I love all that stuff.
Yeah, me too. Outside of the DCAU, John Rubinow is known for playing a doctor in Beverly Hills Cop 3 and a TV producer in Die Hard 2. So not many credits, but those are the ones. On the catwalk. Oh no, you weren't doing that one. Utility belt of fun facts here. Scarface makes reference to Tweety's famous line, I taught a putty cat. So that was a Looney Tunes reference thrown in there. Obviously, Paul Dini's making. This episode includes a stuffed animal known as a Tasmanian Tiger. While this animal may seem to be of interest to somebody like Catwoman, the Tasmanian Tiger was not actually a tiger or even a cat. It's an extinct carnivorous marsupial, more closely related to the Tasmanian devil. It was sometimes referred to as a tiger because of its stripes running across its back. The last known surviving one died in captivity in 1936.
Oh, wow.
Long time ago, almost 100 years ago. Next fun fact, Catwoman's
Rest
line...
in peace,
Rest
Tiger,
in peace,
Johnny.
but not Tiger.
Yeah.
Catwoman's line, the Lady or the Tiger, is a reference to Frank R. Stockton's The Lady or the Tiger, which is also used by Catwoman in the Perfect Crime episode in Batman 66. So maybe a callback to there. What did John Zember write this episode? Am I right? Selena refers to herself as the cat who walked by herself. This is a reference to the cat that walked by himself, which was a story by Rudyard Kipling, who is the author of the Jungle Book, and also his estate is very close to where our aunt and uncle live.
Yeah, we see it regularly. 'cause
We do.
have posh relatives.
I remember when we drove past it and you're like on the phone with me, you're like, is this it, bud? I was like, no, that's the estate. That's Rudyard Kipling.
What, when our family moved near the estate, I was like, I think I found the house. Holy smoke.
I was behind you in the car. I remember you being like, is this it?
That's so funny.
Keep going.
I
it was funny.
love that area because even though it's not mine at all, just because it's like, a family member lives around there. Every time I'm around there, I'm like, yes, what are these? Out the way, out the way. My family lives down this road. Please move, please move.
I'll have to do that next time. This episode is included as one of Bruce Timm's top picks in an interview from 2011, which I was surprised to read. I think he probably would have changed his mind by now. He's probably high during that interview. He's like, fucking Catwalk, can we end this? I gotta go get high.
I am high, but I need to get more high.
And finally, this episode features the adventures of Batman and Robin title intro and song, but Robin doesn't appear in this episode at all. So that was an interesting take where I was like, oh, okay, no Robin. All right, the big question. What did you think of this episode?
I didn't really like this episode, to be honest. Look, I love
Fair.
Paul Dini, love his writing. Just this episode just didn't grab me, and I'm a big Scarface fan. I'm a semi Catwoman fan. I just felt like there was a lot of innuendos in this episode.
Oh, yeah.
Everything Catwoman said was an innuendo, and I get it. It's Batman.
And
It's like-
Scarface.
yeah, that's true. But at one point I realized I was on my phone for like 5 or 6 minutes, and then there was like a fight scene going on, And then I just didn't even see the ending. I was like, well, I guess I didn't enjoy that episode.
Oh man, it's so funny because I didn't thoroughly enjoy this episode by any means, but like didn't mind it. But I watched this a few days ago, and as I've been thinking about us recording, and I'm like, okay, so we're gonna do Bane next. And I was like, no, you're doing Catwalk, and it's just like this episode has just kind of gone from my memory. Like it's just like an episode where I'm like, oh yeah, that's an episode of Batman the Animated Series, and I don't really remember it. Yeah. And it's also one I never watched as a kid, so I have no like nostalgia for it either. It's just kind of like it's a Catwoman episode, and Scarface is in it. That's kind of it.
Yeah, it's just like I don't know. It was just like it dragged in bits where it was like
it did.
I get the whole thing where when she was like flipped away from Batman to climb up the whale. Like I knew Batman was going to be up there, but it felt like it took like 7 minutes for it to be like, "See you later, Batman." Let's see. Hey, yep. I'm about to leave. Oh, you're here. Like it's like yes. I just went and pulled myself up with a grappling hook. I mean,
coincidentally, that is also my love that Batman moment when he shows up on top of the whale, because I was like, that's just cool when he does it. But you're right, it did take a while.
We don't have to make this difficult.
But somehow we always do.
I did like when he was in her apartment. Also, her cat, when she's like, time to go on an adventure, she just jumps out the window. But the cat was like, holy smokes! Like, someone could have told me.
Digging claws into her shoulders. Yeah, that is true. That she just jumped straight out that window, like nosedives. Yeah.
The cat was just like, I'll just hold on to it. Like, the animation of the cat was pretty chill. Like, she does this all the time. Like, I trust her, but if I was the cat, I'd be like, holy fucking shit!
Imagine if she forgot the whip, and the cat's like, and the whip comes out, where's the whip? Yeah. Oh, fuck. Just
I was playing with it.
You doing what?
Oh, buddy!
Wait, save it for Kinky Sunday on our Discord. Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, we haven't seen Catwoman since Almost Got Him, so that's quite a while. That's a long time ago.
I like Catwoman in this. I've always liked this. Her voice is amazing. I like the character design. I like that she sort of was against that lady's grandfather for spitting some real shit about who he is. It's quite modern, quite liberal, like the way she was speaking. And I like the idea of her being like bored that she can't be Catwoman anymore. I found it just so weak sauce about like Scarface's plan was like, I'm going to get her to go in to be a distraction so they can pin it on her so that I can steal stuff. It's like, all right, well, they'll capture her. And then they'll be like, so what's going on? She'd be like, fucking Scarface is back. And he set this whole thing up.
Yeah.
And like, you should go find, Wesker or whatever. And they're like, okay, great, we'll go do that. Thanks.
We'll go to the sawmill because it's wood related and it's abandoned. So he's definitely there.
Yeah, he definitely is there. The old abandoned sawmill, huh? How'd you know? Oh!
Knock on wood, they don't show up.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
So yeah, I mean, this episode, the way it started, like the flashback catch-up sequence, I guess filled us in on why Catwoman can't be Catwoman anymore. Mm-hmm. But it felt a little comic book with her narrating. I was like, oh, okay, you don't get much voiceover narration in this episode, in this show, so I enjoyed that. The music, Mickey Mouse, their fight sequence too, and had like no other sound effects, which I thought was very different for this show. It was like doing that, when he would throw a punch, it would go like, or she would throw a kick, it'd be like, and it was just something that I've not seen in this show before, so I thought that was interesting. And then I liked the car scene with Selena and Scarface. Yeah, there's some innuendos, but I just I liked Scarface's introduction in the shadows in the car.
Let me out, you big ape!
Whoa, she's a live one.
In 2 seconds, that'll be more than I can say about you.
Calm down, pussycat. We're all friends here.
And then, like, she laughs, and he just, like, shuts that shit down, and he's like, why is she laughing? I forget what he says. Like, do I have something on my teeth? Or maybe he doesn't say that, but, he says something like that.
Do I have something on my teeth?
You would know. But
My God.
But I do like how he calls Veronica Vreeland Ronnie V and her jewelry pretty spark.
Yeah, this one's all bark and no bite, am I saying, right? Bark is a wood bark. It's the same.
I like how Selena says, "You're boring me, log." Like, calls him a log. I thought it was good. And she calls him a scratching post later on, which I thought was a cool use of, well, she's stealing his stick, right? She's taking wood jokes.
Stealing my stick. What jokes?
Stick, because, it comes from a tree, which made it
Because it
wood.
comes from a tree. Look, I'm branching out here.
If anyone hasn't heard or seen or read my lips, go back and watch that episode before listening to this one. But yeah, I thought it was weird that the museum guard was walking around saying check to every giant animal in the exhibit, like as if those are going to be the first things that go missing if someone breaks in.
My dastardly plan to steal the grizzly bear from the Natural History Museum. Why? I never really asked that question.
Forget the jewels, grab the mastodon.
Yeah, what are you, jewels? They're worth nothing. There's a giant whale up there. How cool that would be in my house.
Getting that thing out of there as well. Like, where would you go? It does not fit through the door. I did not think about this.
All right, the guard's distracted. We've taken the whale down. Now, the door is very small.
It's human size.
How did they even get this thing in here? Yeah. Where's the whale exit and entrance? There isn't one. Oh.
Boss, we're having a whale of a time.
Hey, I'm stumped on how we're going to get out of this one. Stump, get it? Because I'm like a tree stump?
I was also confused at one point because the Brachiosaurus skeleton, like, I don't know if the roof is open for its head because that's how Catwoman came in.
That would be someone installed it.
Or they didn't measure it properly.
They're like, what? It's like 2 feet too big. And they're like, can you just open the fucking window and we'll deal with it another time? We've been setting up for fucking days. Like, you should have done this. I know I should have done it better. I measured everything. It's because they installed the floors, which raised it up a little bit. I didn't take into consideration the floors. So they just
what if it rains?
Put a hammerrack on.
It's got a little rain.
Job done.
I also always think of George Clooney, Batman, ice skating down a Brachiosaurus neck in that museum in Batman and Robin when I see things like that as well, which is not my favorite Batman thought. No,
those
it's not.
movies.
But not exactly the coolness factor that I'm looking for. The museum guard falling for Catwoman's flirty comments I thought was pretty silly at first, but then I thought, if that was me, I'd probably do the same.
Yeah, when she was like, help me up, handsome, you're like, yeah, she thinks I'm handsome.
Which exit would you like to go through? That one goes here, and that one
You
goes
can
over
use
here.
any exit you like, baby.
It's an entrance and an exit, if you know what I'm saying. It's not Kiki Sunday.
Yeah.
When Catwoman escapes
I have
the
a
museum...
cat suit too.
Oh, yeah? What's it look like?
A lot like yours.
But you're so much fatter than me. You just called Fat Woman?
Not a woman, but
Could have fooled me with them titties. Keep that fucking hair in check. You look like the guy from Lost with that hair like that. Cade, throw up a picture. Cade, you know what I'm talking about?
No, I do not look like the guy from Lost.
Lost, you didn't lose any pounds, but you found your doppelganger.
My doppelganger is not the guy from Lost.
No, it's not. It's not. I'm only joking. That was good, though.
I'll give it to you.
With
Cut me
jokes. Okay, when Catwoman escapes the museum, she jumps over a police car and we quickly cut inside the car, and we see an officer with the weirdest mustache I've ever seen. Like, it was like a goatee with no chin hair. Like, he was going for like a Confucius look or something. But
Oh, really?
it just looked
Oh,
so
wait, yeah,
out
no,
of place.
I remember that, yeah.
Like, did he think he was setting a
Handlebar,
trend?
right?
Yeah, but it was like a really like wispy handlebar. You know what I mean? Like,
the
it wasn't
best I could
attached.
do.
Yeah.
All the boys are grown tashes, and I wanted to be different.
Yeah, he sees Gordon's. He's like, I wanted to grow
Oh,
a mustache.
fuck. Look at Gordon's fucking fat, juicy tash.
That thing's a white slug.
Oh, my God.
And I've just
This
got
has
these
took
2
me
feathers.
7 weeks, and this is what I can do. I'm actually trying to grow a full beard, but this is where it starts.
Yeah, I just thought that was a weird animation choice. But, you know, we know that the animation studio loves to impress people by adding in those details. So
Yes, they do.
that's why they did it. I love Batman waiting for Selena in her apartment. You mentioned that earlier in the shadows. But I always wonder how long
shadows.
I always wonder how long he's waiting, though. You know what I mean? Like, how long
Yeah.
did he have to wait for Catwoman to come home? Oh, a lot of eggs for breakfast.
The cat's like, meow.
Catwoman hops right back into her apartment. She's like, okay, where are you?
I know those protein fonts anywhere. I didn't think you were going to come. I was like, I've been holding it for a while, and I was like, I'm finally going to do it, and then you came at the worst moment.
His like legs asleep because he's been standing there for so long. He's like texting. He's just so bored. So he's there for hours.
It's got like a Game Boy. He's just playing Pokemon.
He's thinking about farting, but he's like, maybe she'll show up, so I'll just hold it. And then when he finally does, she does show up. He's like, I knew it. Like, that always happens to me.
She shows up and he's holding in the fart. It's like, Selena, great to see you. You seem on edge, Batman. Yeah. Shall we talk about this on the balcony?
It's very windy up here.
It's about to get a lot windier if you don't talk to me on the balcony.
Did you catch my drift?
These are fart puns. I'm about to rip ass.
Fart jokes.
Fart jokes.
They're what this podcast does best. And Batman actually makes a pun when he's talking to Catwoman. He said the thief is smart, leaving dummy cards to cover his tracks. And I was like, do you know it's a dummy that's doing this? Or are you just coincidentally saying that?
This lock's been sprung. Our thief is clever using dummy cards to cover his tracks.
I thought it was just a random little, I don't know, relatable thing to say. And my words are now going. I'm losing my words.
Random relatable thing to say. Indeed.
Who are you? I also noticed that Batman like magics a switchblade out of thin air when he's on top of the giant whale as it's falling. He just like, ta-da! Like he just flicks his wrist and it doesn't come out of his glove or anything. It just appears in his hand. And I was like, something.
I'm
he
always
learned.
packing knives and gats. Like, I got shit on me.
It's a dildo. He's like, oh God, how did that get in there?
Well, I was seeing Selena. I don't know if we were like still, cool. I always come prepared. Always come prepared.
For that pussy cat.
I'm horny!
She loves the laser pointer.
I just realized that my windows are open and my name was just heard me shout. I'm horny! So loudly.
You're like, oh, he's so deprived. I did like how Scarface is talking to Penguin on the phone and haggling over the price of a stolen bird. That's like a fun.
Really?
little-
I missed that bit.
Yeah, that was one thing where I was like, show me more of that. Like, show me Scarface like trying to pawn off these collectible like.
Did you say
extinct
porn?
animals. Knock on wood, if you know what I'm saying.
Yay! I'm as solid as a rock down there.
Rock? No. Solid as
Solid
wood.
as a
2x4.
a tree. Wood jokes.
I got bush down there too.
What? It's nothing to do with wood.
Tree bush. Yeah, it is.
Oh. It's a stretch. It's in the family. Tree bushes. It's a tree and a bush. Usually it's tree bush, but this is a tree bush. It works.
Okay. Okay. All right. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. So Scarface is trying to pawn. I've got to use another word. Scarface is trying to sell this penguin to the penguin. And I did realize that even though he's on the phone with the penguin, the phone is to Scarface's ear. So Wesker, who's controlling him, can't hear shit on the phone. Like, he wouldn't be able to hear what the penguin's saying.
Well, maybe he's got good hearing.
That's it.
That's it. I told you that he might be real.
He might be real. So yeah, I liked the Batman versus Rhino fight. I thought when Rhino picks up the log to fight Batman,
I totally watched that.
I was hoping Batman would pick up the log as well, and they just have like a big log fight. You know, like just like a big sword fight, but with giant logs. Well, they just take their dicks out and start having another log fight.
I have a log fight every morning after eating Mexican food.
Shit's like a flowing river in Canada. There's just logs going
What?
down.
A flowing river in Canada?
Aren't there
With
like
logs
loads of
going down it?
Aren't there like loads of logs in like a Canada river?
What?
I don't know.
Why do you think that?
I don't know.
Tell me where your brain goes to
I think
mentally.
of Canadian wild and like big
Yeah.
rapid rivers, and then
Yeah.
there's like big logs going down.
What do you think? It's Frogger, the game Frogger out there? What are you talking about?
I don't know.
Like
what my
that, what?
brain
There's
thinks.
beavers, like maybe. Is it because like when we used to play Marvel superheroes on PlayStation 1, the Canadian
Ooh,
level with the water,
You
and,
might
there's-
have,
and you fight
yeah.
on logs going down the water, and you were like,
You might-
that's because it's known in Canada there's always full logs of trees cut.
That's
down
it.
the river.
You nailed it. You've unlocked it. Okay. And that's what Canada rivers are like.
So you're 38, and you're just realizing now that Canada rivers do not have perfectly cut logs flowing down them.
A beaver's like, oh yeah.
Who do you think cut the logs?
I did notice that Catwoman says "nah" in this episode
Yes,
when
so did I.
Wesker asks her to
Yeah.
save Scarface. I was like, she's stealing his line.
She's a fan of the show.
She is a fan of this show. And the one bit I did like most of all is when Wesker shows his dark side. Like, he hits Catwoman with the stuffed cat to save Scarface. And that's great because he's, this timid, scared guy, but obviously Scarface is inside of him. She even says, like, I want to scratch him out until I find him, which I thought was cool. But yeah, I liked seeing him, like, I'm gonna, murder you because you're obviously threatening my alter ego, which I thought was cool. And then we get one of my favorite clips of Batman ever in this show. It's his sad face when he looks up to Celie. He looks up to see that Selena is gone. It's a clip I use all the time where he looks to check on Catwoman after he saves the Tasmanian Tiger, and then he just dips his head down and he's got sad eyes and he's like, I'm sad, I'm Batman and I'm sad.
Sad man.
I use it all the time in clips. I think it's a great clip because he's so sad and I'm like, oh, I want to give him a cuddle with that sad face. Like, poor Batman.
Don't think he wants a cuddle.
What does he want?
Pussy.
or the drink. Not a
Or the
sponsor.
drink. Which we should try and find a sponsorship with, because someone in our Discord got a
Discord.
sponsorship with them, didn't they?
Yeah, how did they do that?
Should we pursue a pussy sponsorship?
I think we should, especially if we're
Okay.
doing Catwoman
Also,
episodes.
I went down to my local Home Bargains recently, and guess what was all sold out? Fucking pussy. So
They're out of pussy?
out of pussy. Is that because we're advertising it heavily on this show?
I can't get over why we have 85% male audience, but then I realized why during conversations.
Farts, pussy, the drink.
I'm red now for some reason. Like I'm at Willy Wonka's fucking factory and I'm
He's
eating a
blushing.
raspberry.
Eating a raspberry.
I'm so fucking hot. I'm sweating in here.
Doobadee-dee.
I must...
are-
Oh, I fixed it. Yay, that's all I have to do.
What do you get when you gobble down sweets? eating as much as my brother eats.
Big old teats. That's what I was going to say.
I do not look like the guy from Lost.
I bet he does if you compare him now.
I don't like the look of it.
Oompa, loompa, doompa-dee-da. If you're not greedy, you will go far.
Okay, so at the end of this episode, Catwoman recites the same poetry line at the start. I am the cat who walks by herself, and she looks out over Gotham, and that's the end of this meh episode.
I am the cat with the golden hair.
That's a new one. I don't know what you're singing there. What's that one?
What do you mean?
I am the cat with the golden hair.
Thank you for the music, the song I'm singing. It's ABBA,
What?
baby.
Oh, I don't think I know that one, do I?
What?
What's the chorus?
I just sang the chorus. Thank you for the music.
I don't know that one then.
It's at the end of Mamma Mia, at the end of the wedding.
Oh, well, you know, in my house, there's a certain individual that had a lot of work experience in ABBA, so instinctively she doesn't like ABBA, so therefore I have to listen to ABBA in private.
Well, listen to that one. It's a banger.
Yeah, okay, well, I will. I should watch that movie because I know you like it and I haven't seen it in a long time. And
Yeah, because
Pierce always break it out in song.
it's so bad, it's good. That's why I like that movie.
I watched, I think it was like Vanity Fair, and Pierce Brosnan was on it recently watching like a bunch of clips of his old movies, and he started watching Mamma Mia and breaking out, and he just went, ugh, like this, like, oh no, that's bad.
When you're gone. I love that clip.
All right, we go straight into our top three, which is almost got him Joker's favorite, the laughing fish. I already know the answer. No, it does not replace any of those in our top three. Does it make the bottom three, which is currently Cat Scratch Fever, Prophecy of Doom, and Fire from Olympus?
I would knock Fire from Olympus out of there and put this down there.
Yeah, I think you're right, because Fire Olympus at least had something
At least
new.
we made some jokes out of Fire Olympus, right? We had fun.
We had fun. Yeah, that's true.
Gyro.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna. It's pronounced Gilo. Are
I'd like-
people online still being like, if they're saying gyro this much, it should tell you that these guys are not funny. And I'm like, that's the joke. Is that?
Oh, buddy, don't ever listen to
I
anybody
know,
on the
I
internet.
know. I know.
It's superstitious, cowardly lot, bud.
I like that. By the way, 2 out of our 3 bottom 3 episodes are Catwoman episodes: Cat Scratch Fever and Catwalk.
Yikes.
If it's got cat in the title, might be bad.
Oh, guess we don't
Okay,
really like Catwoman
ranking.
then.
No, maybe not. Ranking out of 10. What would you give this episode?
I did not like this episode. I would be happy not to see it again. I'll give it an extra point for Scarface being in it. 5 out of 10.
I gave it a 6.6 out of 10. So yeah, I mean, it's not rated high like normal. Even episodes where like it was okay, like we give a 7. You know, usually like Terrible Trio we enjoyed. So
I
that's
like
our
Terrible
take.
Trio a lot better than this episode. Yeah,
Yeah, me too.
just
Yeah.
wasn't for me. Like, and if you like
No, I
it, that's
know.
fine. I just didn't like it.
It just doesn't go anywhere as we said. So,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, if you like it, that's cool with us. All right, fit check here. Selena wears a blue dress and a black choker at the start, looking
Hardly know her.
pretty fine. Bruce wears his tux
It's a
again.
cartoon, bud.
Yep, well, it's all right. Veronica Vreeland wears a light purple dress and gloves, looking fine. And Rhino is now wearing a light grey suit to match the skin of a rhino, I thought. That's probably why he's in a light grey suit. Instead of a black
Rhino.
one. All right, next up, it is the episode Bane. Guess who's in that?
Ben?
Yeah, we got Bane
Nice.
coming up next. So the first appearance of Bane for this show.
Now, don't people have mixed feelings about Bane and Batman the Animated Series?
They do, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to the new Batman adventures as well, because he kind of looks like a jacked up, like gimp. Or you know what I
I
mean?
dig that look, to be honest. He looks
Yeah.
menacing.
Mr.
But
Dom.
then again, I'm so vanilla with my sex that I just don't see it at all. I'm like, he's a scary luchador.
I will
Like, so
break
other
you.
people are like, he can fuck the shit out of me. I'm into Bane.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen this episode in a while, so I'm looking forward to going back and revisiting it. I remember liking it.
All I can remember from Bane is I love that he's intelligent in Batman the Animated Series.
Yes.
I love that he, is Mexican as well. Like, there's
Yep.
like, and it plays into like my old love of wrestling and all this stuff. Like, very much into it. I love how big and puffy he is in this
Me
big
too.
fat like Vince McMahon 1999
Oh
suit.
my god,
You
yeah.
I can
Yeah,
see
he
him.
is.
No chance. That's what you got, Batman.
I will break you.
What do you think you're doing, Austin? That's your best friend out there, and you're taking it easy on your very best friend. Damn it, Steve, come on. Open him up. Open him up. Open him up.
Man, they wore big suits back then. Triple H just like crazy.
And I love Bane in a suit and a fedora because
Fedora, yeah.
he
it feels
wears
like-
his mask still. It's like so obviously him.
I love it. It plays into like when I love the Thing, like in a trench coat, or like Raphael and stuff like that. It's very much that. So I'm looking forward to that one.
Okay, cool. All right, well, join us next time. Next time, I was going to say next week, but then you never know with this show sometimes. Next time, where we will be reviewing Bane,